This morning, Mahmoud Khalil is waking up in a Louisiana detention center 1,000 miles from his home and his family, including his pregnant wife, despite being charged with no crime. Donald Trump, who campaigned on a platform of supposed free speech and referred to January 6 rioters as political prisoners, said on social media that there would be many more arrests like Khalil's to come. In a complaint filed Thursday, Khalil accused Trump and multiple cabinet officials of detaining him in retaliation for his role in pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia University last year. What he argues is, quote, the government's targeted retaliatory detention and attempted removal of a student protester because of his constitutionally protected speech. Joining us now, former federal prosecutor and Politico magazine senior writer Ankush Khardori.
Ankush, draw this out so folks really understand the core of what Khalil said in his charge against the government. And contextualize what the administration did, because I have a sense that beyond Washington and legal corners, most Americans are sleeping through the fact that a student has been incarcerated without the legal protections of the Constitution, no due process, no charge of any criminality, sitting in a detention center because that's where Donald Trump wants him, because here's the kicker, folks, Donald Trump didn't like what he said about the Palestinian Gaza situation. Talk to us and contextualize for us what's at stake here.
Yeah, so this is highly, highly disturbing, as everyone has noted. I think a critical point that you raised should be reiterated, which is thus far the government has produced no evidence of criminal conduct. I think it is fair to assume at this point that there is no evidence of criminal conduct on his behalf that the government is prepared to adduce. With respect to him individually, a lot of people I understand are very interested in what did he say and what was his association with this, that, or the other group. And the principle is much more important than the person in First Amendment jurisprudence. Some of the most important cases in our country's history have involved the most unpopular speakers saying some of the most detestable things, racist things, KKK marching. And our First Amendment jurisprudence supports those people. It's what makes our country great, even if they're saying vile things or things we may vehemently disagree with.
The ACLU released a video of Mahmoud Khalil's arrest, and this video was recorded by his wife. The faces of the agents in the video were blurred, that you're going to see by the ACLU, not by NBC News. We're going to play that for you right now.
What? You're going to be under arrest. So turn around.
Okay, let's not.
Stop resisting.
Okay, he's not resisting. He's giving me his phone. Can we get a name, please, can we get your name? I understand the lawyer is asking for your name.
Over there.
No, we don't give our name.
The lawyer's asking for your name. He's saying they don't give their names. Can you please specify what agency is taking him, please? Excuse me. They're not talking to me. I don't know.
It is not cold in here, and I literally have chills watching that. I think that we are living under a presidency and United States government that does believe that they can round up anybody that they would like with no charges or anything, round them up because they don't like what they said. They don't like, this man is a permanent lawful resident. He has a green card.
He's one step away from being a citizen.
One step away from being a full United States citizen. But when you are a permanent lawful resident, you have the protections of the United States Constitution. He's not a student on a visa.
Yeah, and I think, everybody is rightly...
This could be anyone.
It could be anyone. And for any other sort of disfavored speech, by the way, not just this form of speech or in the subject matter. But I think it's also important to focus in on the machinery of this, right? Everybody is directing their frustration and anger correctly at the top of the Trump administration. The people who are implementing these things, the agents we just saw, the prosecutors who are going to be involved in this, shame on them, shame on all of them. That is wildly unprofessional conduct that we just saw on that screen on behalf of those agents. And shouldn't be tolerated. And I would like to make sure as we go forward over the next months and years to remain focused on the individuals, particularly the lawyers who facilitate this conduct. It is bad.
There are multiple elements to this. There's Rubio talking about this in the context of immigration. And then just yesterday, this from the Associated Press, the Justice Department is investigating whether Columbia University hid students sought by the U.S. This is a quote from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Just last night, we worked with the Department of Homeland Security to execute search warrants from an investigation into Columbia University for harboring and concealing illegal aliens on its campus. That investigation is ongoing, and we are also looking at whether Columbia's handling of earlier incidents violated civil rights laws and included terrorism crimes.
I just want you to know they went into the dorms in Columbia. The agents, it's all over social media. They went into the dorms in Columbia, like fully in full regalia, looking for people. Yeah. What is happening?
It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. And if I may, I'd like to focus a little attention on Columbia briefly. I had the privilege to go to that school both for college and law school. I had a wonderful time, and I benefited a lot from it. I have been appalled by the university's handling of all of these issues for the last year. Going back to the protests, it has been misstep after misstep after misstep. It's almost like the university is in self-immolation. And what is amazing me at this moment is the ridiculous double standard that the administration applies. In December, Tim Wu, who is a law professor at the school, tweeted out something basically celebrating the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO. What did the law school do? Nothing to him. They didn't condone it. They didn't criticize it. They circled the wagons. Now when their students need that same help and that same protection, where are they? Where is the law school? Where are the deans? Jillian Lester, Mr. Abebe, the current dean, where are the law professors, who are millionaires, quite a few of them, including Tim Wu, who should absolutely be out front helping these students. It amazes me. Elite lawyers, or quote-unquote elite lawyers, have a role to play here, and if they don't rise to the occasion, they all deserve our disapprobation as well, too.
I think to the point about the lawyers not lawyering in this situation, I'm reminded of the image of Donald Trump's visit to the Department of Justice. And you have this room full of lawyers whooping it up and celebrating this sort of illiberal behavior represented in this particular convicted felon who is president of the United States. I think we're in a disturbing space here because you're going to find agents, federal agents, you're going to find municipal, law enforcement, lawyers who align themselves with this.
Absolutely. And you are absolutely correct to be concerned. And there is a precursor here, which I have never forgotten about and written about quite a few times, which was the family separation policy during the first Trump administration. That could not have been implemented without many federal prosecutors playing a role. And when the administration turned over to President Biden and Merrick Garland, they did nothing to even express any disapproval with those prosecutors' involvement. And so the lesson that those people learned currently sitting in the Justice Department is do whatever you're told because there will be no repercussions and you'll be fined professionally. And we're going to see that play out, unfortunately, and I think we're already seeing it play out.
I think you're right.
The Columbia Journalism School, can I note, they did put out, the faculty put out a statement on press freedom, and they noted that many of the international students have felt afraid to come to classes and events on campus. These actions represent threats against political speech and the ability of the American press to do its essential job and are part of a larger design to silence voices that are out of favor with the current administration.
Those same students will likely find it is in their long-term survival and best interest to resign or leave the university because there's no place of protection there for them. So get ready, Columbia. Ankush Khardori, thank you so much for being here.